My name is Naude Dreyer and I live in Walvis Bay, Namibia. I'm what you would call a water sport enthusiast and have always felt a deep connection to the ocean. My father's a former park ranger, and as far as I can remember, I always helped him out in his missions to help stranded dolphins and whales and other injured animals on the beaches. Growing up, I always felt it was my duty to preserve the ocean, and I still do to this day. Eight years ago, my wife Katja and I created our own sea kayak tour company at Pelican Point. These expeditions gave me the opportunity to share my knowledge about the local wildlife and marine conservation with the larger public. Around the same time period, while on tour, a friend and I spotted a young seal entangled in a big piece of fishing net. We succeeded in bringing her to the closest beach and managed to cut her free. The feeling was overwhelming. Without our intervention, this poor little girl would surely have died a slow and painful death. Over the years, I disentangled many more seals whenever I would spot one that was small enough for me to catch by hand. We have a huge problem with seal entanglements in Namibia. We decided to start this environmental trust called Ocean Conservation Namibia in order to raise general awareness on ocean conservation, ocean pollution, and the problems our marine life are dealing with on a Namibian coastline. There are a lot of concerned people around, but we feel we'd like to be a sort of governing body to look over all of this. So my wife Katja and I are the sort of founders of Ocean Conservation Namibia, and we've started this just basically to fill a need, to act on a desire to want to help our ocean around here. There doesn't seem to be too many people actively taking charge here, and we just want to do what we can to play our part. Actively started doing it probably about 4 or 5 years ago, much more regularly, and now we're at a point. Last year we got close on probably 250 seals, and right now, as of today, we're on 170 seals just for this year alone already. So there's obviously a massive need for what we're doing at the moment. So the 100 Seals for Time campaign was something we figured out nearly a year ago. Our plan was to try and catch and release 100 seals within a month. Quite a big feat, but we thought, hey, well, let's give it a try. Because of the whole COVID crisis, we couldn't run this in June, but so we decided to just basically officially run the campaign for the month of May instead, without the rest of the crew. It was just Antoine and I, and we actually managed to get our 100th seal on the 30th of May, so one day before the end. It was crazy. We were getting up to 10 seals a day, all youngsters. That's why we wanted to run this campaign in May and June, because it's the time when the youngsters get really exploratory. They're going out further and further every day. So most of the entanglements we're getting with very young animals and with very fresh entanglements. So lines just around their necks very recently, so no damage yet, but obviously because they're growing so fast, it would have damaged them very soon. So good thing we were out there to get all these youngsters. So yeah, the campaign was a very big success, and obviously it's definitely going to be one of many more to come. We plan to try and do these targeted seal capture campaigns definitely again in the future, hopefully with the rest of the crew again. This is actually a rolled up ball of fishing line. It's still got its tape on it. They've just been chucked into the water. It's difficult to say. They're all, you get very emotionally invested into all of them. They're all really adrenaline pumping, quite exciting events, but there's been a few that would stand out. A couple of our really big ones. We've got one seal that's probably close to 200 kilograms with a packing strap around his neck. It took me and Antoine all our weight to tackle this thing and get him down. The other day we had a big one as well, quite a big male with a big snook fishing hook and the weight behind it got in just next to his eye, and this was really deep in, and we sat for probably close on 40 minutes trying to get this thing out without hurting the animal too much. A lot of blood. Not even sure if he would regain the use of his eye, but if we hadn't got the hook out, it would have led to an infection very soon and would have killed him outright. So we do see a lot of seals with one eye swimming around, often as a result of the fishing industry. But yeah, there's been some really intense rescues. Our 100th seal the other day as well was a sub-adult female with a big ball of gill net sort of in her mouth, around her head. It also took us about 25 minutes to get her free. The net was so full in her mouth that she was barely able to breathe. She could definitely not eat or anything. Caught a seal before with a toilet seat around his neck, of all things. Quite a few wearing jackets and clothing, overalls. So yeah, every day is quite a surprise as to what we're actually going to be dealing with out there.